Hello, and a very warm welcome. Driver ratings for the Austrian Grand Prix. All 20 drivers covered as we rate them out of 10. Driver ratings is about opinion. A bit of controversy last week at Silverstone as I gave Max a low score. But yeah, it is what it is. It's all about opinions. Let's jump into it. Max, I'll give him this one. I think we can go 10. I mean, he was fastest in practice one, got the pole, then won the sprint, and then he finished second in the main race with fastest lap. Ferrari were just quicker. Yeah. Sergio Perez, 5. Yeah. It is a bit weird with Perez because he qualified 4th, but then he got like a post-qualifying penalty for exceeding track limits. Then he did a good job in the sprint coming back through, but then in the main race he was taken out by George Russell, and he retired as too much damage, and he was miles behind, might as well save the engine. Lewis Hamilton, 6. I am only going 6. He crashed a car in quali, driver mistake. I don't think he had a great sprint race, but in the main race he did well. Others messing up once again, and Mercedes capitalised because they're reliable, but yeah. I only give him 6 because, like I say, crashed a car, driver error, and then, again, the pace was actually very not good. 41 seconds off the winner. So, yeah, Mercedes are reliable, that's why they end up picking up the scraps, but, yeah, I don't think Lewis was amazing this weekend. Yeah, George Russell, 5. Yeah, again, got to mark George down. He crashed in qualifying, did a good job in the sprint, but in the main race, he took out Perez, got a 5-second penalty, but had to change the wing, 5-second penalty, and he came back and finished 4th, so it was a good fight back, but yeah. It's like George, he was right on the curb, he was turning, but that corner, there's always going to be contact. Yeah, it was 100% George's fault. Charles Leclerc, 10. Absolutely 10. I mean, good job in the sprints, and then he won in Red Bull's backyard. Very fast in the race. Had that throttle issue at the end, but Ferrari have got to make Charles number 1. I don't think they'll win the championship anyway, but they're in the fight. They've got to make Leclerc number 1, in my opinion. Yeah, he's closed the gap. Let's see what he can do in France. Carlos Sainz, 6. Now, he retired, so, I mean, yeah. When people retire, I usually just give them a standard 5, but I give Sainz 6. Yeah, retired in the race, big fire. It was going to be an easy 1-2 for Ferrari, but that is Ferrari in a nutshell. Poor reliability once again. Gasly, 0. Absolutely 0. Like, wow. Gasly was the worst driver all weekend. He was so poor. I mean, where do you start? To start with, like, he ignored, like, the rule where Yuki should go first. Overtook Yuki. Then he hit Lewis in the sprint. Seems to get caught up in a lot of first lap collisions. I mean, what was he doing? There was a car on the left, Lewis in the middle, and he just keeps coming over. Then in the race, he took out Seb, 5-second penalty, track limits penalty, and he finished P15. Yuki Tsunoda, 1-1, 0. Gotta be 0 again, I'm afraid, for Yuki. Really poor. AlphaTauri were shocking. They were probably like slowest car all weekend. They were so bad. I mean, Yuki pulled off a great save, P14, and then P17 in the main race. But I think he may have gone up to... I think Vettel got a penalty, so he may have been 16th. Yeah, really poor. Valtteri Bottas, 5, standard 5. Nothing spectacular by Valtteri. He was in the points, passed by Alonso late on, finishes 11th. Guan Yu Zhou, 5, standard 5. Lacking a bit of confidence after his big crash, finished 14th in the race. Alex Albon, 6. Yeah, he had a really poor sprint. He pushed off Lando Norris, but actually looking back on that, it was hard racing. Then he knocked off Sebastian Vettel. But yeah, beat Latifi with ease. Finished 12th in the race. Yeah, sprint race was a disaster, but the main race was pretty strong by Albon. Latifi, 0. I mean, in the sprint race, 68 seconds off. I mean, wow, in 23 laps. Retired in the main race due to damage. 3 seconds off the pace. Yeah, Nicholas Latifi doing Nicholas Latifi things. Vettel, 5. Now, I didn't think I'd be giving Vettel 5. I was really going to drop him down. Because in qualifying, he was awful. Yeah. Yeah. He got taken off by Albon as well. Not his fault. And he got taken out by Gasly as well in the main race. Finished P17, I think. I think he got a penalty for track limits. So yeah, Vettel taken out twice, but his qualifying was dreadful. Lance Stroll, 5. Not got much written down for Lance. Finished 13th in the main race. Aston Martin, just not good enough with the amount of investment they've got. Esteban Ocon, 10. I think Esteban Ocon, underrated performance this weekend. Qualifying star. In the main race he finished 5th. Underrated performance, and he was fast all weekend. Alonso, 8. Now, Alonso actually missed the sprint race. And again, he's not got much luck this season. In the main race, he goes from P19 to P10. A great fight back. And a little wag of the finger to 1-1. He actually had a slow pit stop. He said he could have got up to 6th, 7th. Lando Norris, 6. Now, I'm not giving McLaren a high mark because they really lack pace. They were very poor this weekend, McLaren, but they got a double points finish in the end. And Lando managed to finish P7. Got a penalty for track limits. Daniel Ricciardo, 6 also. McLaren just lacking pace. They really was not good enough this weekend, but double points finish. Ricciardo finishes 9th. And it's looking more and more likely that Ricciardo is going to lose his drive. I think, judging by Ricciardo's, when he comes on the radio, okay, understood. Like, he says that all the time. Not a good weekend for McLaren, and now they're level on points with Alpine for 4th in the Constructors. What's going to happen with Ricciardo? Interesting. And a lot of people are saying McLaren are mistreating Ricciardo. Kevin Magnussen, 10. Haas, absolutely outstanding. Really strong by Haas. Kevin Magnussen finishes 8th. Big points for the team. Yeah. Mick Schumacher, 10. His best weekend in Formula 1, without a shadow of a doubt. Scored points at Silverstone, and he scores points in Austria. Driver of the race, driver of the day, finished 6th. And yeah, he's actually silencing his haters a bit. We all said Mick Schumacher was out of his depth. The last 2 rounds, he's been very strong. Let's have a countdown. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. What the fuck? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Fucking hell, I thought I'd wrote a team down twice there. So there we have it. Driver ratings for the Austrian Grand Prix. Charles Leclerc won after throttle issues. Max comes 2nd, and Lewis picks up the scraps to finish 3rd. We got a couple of weeks off, and then we go to Paul Ricard, France. Comment down below your thoughts. Driver ratings is all about opinion. Caused a bit of controversy last week. Let's see what people make. I tried to be fair with the marks. So yeah, adios.